Hi guys, today I'll be trying lead code 5, which is longest palindromic substring, and this is a medium level problem. So the problem is, given a string s, we have to return the longest substring, which is a palindrome in s. So we have two examples here, which are good examples because they've taken both cases. We need to consider the odd length string and an even length string. So if we have an odd length string, in this case we have BAB, which is the longest palindromic substring within the string. We also have ABA. So a palindrome is basically a string which, when reversed, is equal to the original string. So in this case, if we have BAB, so when you reverse the string, you get BAB again. So it's the same as the original. So that's how you define a palindromic string. In this case, we have BAB and ABA, which are of length 3, which also happens to be the largest length substring within that string, which is palindromic. So we keep that in example 1. And example 2 is an even length string where the longest substring is BB, which are the two central characters in this case. So our constraints are all right. It's within 1000 and it contains only of digits and letters. So when I start this problem, I need to take care of two things. Firstly, I need to make sure that I have two variables, at least from the beginning, where I can say, let's say, result equals null, which is a initialization condition, and you have the length of that result, which we might, the result will return at the end because we need to have the output as the string and not the length. So we return this at the end, res, and this is for checking the length. So this might be say, 0, and now we traverse the entire string. So for I in range, length of the string given to us, right? That's a string. So when that is true, we consider our first case when the string is of length which is odd, right? So we consider that first. So we can set two pointers basically. That's the easiest way, I guess, uh, to do this problem. So we can set our left and right pointers in this case. Because it's an odd string, we can keep our central character as a common middle starting point and expand outwards from there. Because with any palindromic word, right? So if you have, let's say, mom, so when you start from the center and expand outwards, you'll have the same string all over again, even if you read the reverse. That's the property of it being palindromic. So when it's odd, it's a better uh, case if we might consider our central character to be the initial starting point of left and right pointers, basically. So we might take I and I here for the same reason. And now we have to take a condition again. Well, I think that it's important we check our edge cases. So while we need to make sure that this is more than equal to 0, and we also need to make sure that this is true. And again, we need to make sure that this is also true, I guess, because our entire point is to check if both are equal or not. So we do that too. So which is s of right, right? Yeah. So when that's true, we need to then check for a longest substring condition. So how do we calculate the length? Let's say we reach here, right? We're at B right now. So B itself would be, how do we like get B from our given values of left and right? The way in which I think it might work is by adding left and right, and sorry, by subtracting left and right and adding one to it. Because by subtracting left and right, you're getting the length of the string which is enclosed within. So in this case, if we're subtracting b, right, so we get 1 minus 1, which is 0. So we know it's at that position, right? So when it's at that position, we add 1 to get the actual length of the string. So we might have this condition, right? So if right, which is the greater value because it's from the right, because we start from left, this is left for us and this is right. So when this is true, when right minus left plus 1, which is the length of the substring in our case, when that is more than our length, which is our initial value of length basically. When that is true, we take our substring. So we do that by doing this. Res equals s of, let's say, okay, left till right. One. We have that, and we update our res len. We have this equals right minus left plus one. Okay, we're done with that, and we update our pointers now because left has to move one backwards. So we do that, and right has to move one forwards, and that's done. Now we have to check for strings which are of even length. We do that by reassigning our pointers. So we can say this here. Now we need to make sure that we at least have one initial point, so we can keep I for left at least, and right should be more than left at any given point. So the easiest case would be to consider this. So I keep it to that, because if we consider this as I, so we have I plus 1 as this string. So we start from these two and expand to the left and right respectively if our conditions happen to do the same. So we have this, and again, I mean, there won't be any changes in the conditions themselves. So we have while left is more than equal to 0 and right, sorry, spacing, yeah, is less than length of s. We have that s of left is equal to s of right, right? So when we have that, I missed. Okay, and we again check a condition. So if right minus left plus 1 is the length of our substring at that given point is more than res of len, we again take the substring because we need that to return at the end, right? And we update our res len accordingly because res len is the checking condition for the if statement. And yeah, that should be fine. And now we have that. Oh, now we have to update our pointers. So we have this, and I guess we're done because we just have to do this at the end, which is returning the string which we have. Yeah, this should be fine. Let me run this and see if it works. And okay, there's an error, I guess, which is, oh, that's a little weird. Let me try just doing it normally, I guess. That might work. Okay. There is an indentation issue, but I don't think that should be a problem here in this case. Hmm, okay. We might do this maybe. That's the cause of the problem. Let's see if this works. Okay. Mail issue line 8. Oh, this should be right. Sorry. Okay, me right, which is true. Okay. And I guess we might just same time, I guess. But yeah, I mean, this problem wasn't too bad, I guess. Oh, I think it was because it's exceeding my time limits at this point. But it means that I might have a condition where I've sort of messed up a bit. Oh, where is that condition? Um, my bounds are all right, I think. Not, they're not. Oh, that is weird. Okay, let me go over this again because we have an initial values assigned for us, and we have left and right pointers set for us. Left is decrementing, right is incrementing, and same thing happens here too. and we do the same thing. Okay, let me try running this again, maybe it may work. But if I submit this, because we have two separate while loops in this case, it's for, oops, sorry about that. Yeah. Okay, let me try submitting it, it might just work then. But I don't think there's an obvious issue with the solution itself, because I don't see any problems in terms of looping bounds or stuff like that. So I don't know why this is not uh, working. Hmm. So we do get time limit exceeded in this case, but I think this does work out eventually. Um, Maybe I'm not seeing an error at this point, but yeah, I mean, if there's an error, definitely I'll get back to this and leave a pinned comment down below with what the error was. But I'll leave it to here. Um, this should work. This the logic I thought was all right for this. So yep, I think that should be fine. Thank you for watching.